Well, welcome back to Orion Homestead Project Skoolie Edition. We are now hitting episode 13. Wow. We got a lot going on in this particular episode. The 24 volt DC distribution is done. All the equipment is installed. All the cables are connected. Everything is in place. There is no power. I haven't put my batteries in yet, but it is all in place, and I want to walk you through that. Couple of little setbacks, and then some creative engineering to get it fixed. A little bit of extra stuff that's not related to electricity is included in this video as well. So I hope you enjoy. Please like, please subscribe, please talk to me. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, what you want me to see, to do, say, ask me some questions, whatever the case may be. So with that said, let's get started. Well, welcome back, everyone. It is Saturday, April the 5th, and this is episode 13, and we got a lot to talk about. I've been busy. I've been trying to get as much done as I could on the 24 volt distribution. I've got quite a bit done, and for the most part, it's finished except for a few things, and by the time this video is over, it will be done. Except for maybe one thing, but a lot of stuff to talk about. So what I want to do is I want to, in typical fashion, take you on a walkthrough of what I did over the course of the past week that led me up to this point and started off this video. Unfortunately, I don't have any historical video of all the things that I did, but I will walk you through it and we will get after it. All right. Got my trusty flashlight, and as you can see, there is a beautiful mess all over the place, but I have pretty much got everything in place. It sure would be nice if I had some light in here, but anyway, I'm working on that. Wait a minute. Look what I got doing, y'all. Got my lights in. I figured it out. Got me a little temporary circuit. I got some lights in here. But wait, there's more. So if I come back over here, look at that. I got lights everywhere. I got me a little temporary circuit. So I got this little battery right here. It is a battery that I bought for my generator, and then when I bought my generator, I figured out it came with one, so I didn't need it, but it seems to work just fine for creating lights in here. So look at how pretty that is. Look what I got done, y'all. I got me some light in here. All right, so let's run through some things that I had to do and what I got done and everything else. So if you remember in the last video, I was short a few feet of cable to be able to get this inverter connected. That came in, but it didn't come in on Tuesday. It came in on Wednesday, and so I worked on getting all of that connected on Wednesday as I said I would do. So on Wednesday, it was all taken care of. If we come down here, you can see I've got everything connected there. All of the cables are in. They're all run up. Oh, that is so messy, but it is functional and it will work. One of the things that I do want to point out, if you notice my Servo GX is over there as opposed to being right there. Had to do that because the cables that I had was not long enough to connect my Smart Shunt to my servo, so I had to move it, and I was able to use this cable right here and connect it to my Smart Shunt, and now it's connected to the servo. One of the other things that I want to point out that I did, I got all my data cables in. Terminator right there. VE can going down. Connects to, connects to down here. This one connects over to there. This one runs up, you can see it right here. It comes up into this and then terminates right here. There is no VE direct and there is no VE can on the DC to DC charger. So one of the other things, I don't know if I ever pointed it out, but I actually put the smart solar control display on my charger. A little bit more flexibility, but I wanted to point that out to show you that I got that in. One of the other things that I did is I got all my chassis grounds in. If you notice back here, I had to add this ground bar back here. And this ground bar back here is for all of my chassis grounds. This right here goes up through the wall, and this is going to go back and tie into my chassis ground. This cable comes in and puts ground on the links distributor. What I was doing, and then I realized in an epiphany, I was putting all my chassis grounds on my battery bus bar, and then I realized that's a very serious mistake because that will affect the way that the smart controller works, or the smart shunt works. So I moved everything, added that bus bar, moved all my chassis grounds, got them all up there, put everything in place. And this cable that you see me messing with right here is trying to get it out of the way so that it's in place with the green tape, but there's a reason for it. One of the things that I realized as I was doing this, coming over to my AC distribution panel over here, I had no ground. I had a ground bar and had all the grounds for my internal circuits connected to it, but the ground bar was not connected to anything. So what I did was I added this cable, and then I went through and taped as often as I could, and you can see it up here. I made sure that it was identified as an AC electrical ground, and it's going down to the bus bar there and will tie into the chassis. If we come around the back side here, here's where it comes in. I had to take this panel off to be able to get to it. Fortunately, removing the power for the AC units, the oh good lord, I can't think. The mini split units, the indoor units, removing those gave me a hole, and I was able to run my ground wire through, and I've got it taped, goes through, comes around. You can see it ties in over to the ground bar here, comes down, and it will be tied into chassis ground as well. Oh, one of the other things that I did, so I was able to actually get my MPPT controller hooked up. So this is the output, or actually, I'm sorry, this is the input of the MPPT controller from the solar panels. So it comes in here, comes across, comes down, comes up, and there is the PV input. There's nothing coming into it, obviously, but I've got it all set up. Little safety tip, one of the things that I do want to point out and make sure that everybody's clear about, you have to have a PV disconnect, because using this right here disconnects the batteries, so there's no battery power. But if you do not have a PV disconnect up here, the power coming in from the solar panels, as if there's any light hitting them at all, there will be power coming in. Will be felt over here on the charge controller. Now, if there's no input power, I have no idea if this thing will actually output power on these leads to the battery. I'm actually going to test that and see what happens, but I just want to make sure that you have to have both, because disconnecting the batteries takes the battery power off the system, but it does not take the solar power off the system. So make sure that you're aware of that. Make sure you consider that, and make sure you bring that to bear when you're actually doing this. The way I have this set up, by the way, so this is my input. This will feed my 24 volt system. There's another side to it, and this will actually provide the PV input for the other side on the 12 volt distribution. So this side is going to have 2,000 watts. This side is going to have 1,000 watts. This side will feed the 12 volt distribution. This side feeds the 24 volt distribution. So I'll have 2,000 on the 24, 1,000 on the 12, and be able to bring in everything through here. I'll just run the cables across the top and over into the other side. Oh my God, look at this, guys. It's all clean. Well, sort of, but it's ready for the next stage of operation. Getting everything set and staged so that I can start installing everything over here. Build my closet on this side. Get my panels in. I'm going to go ahead and close off this wall right here and around the circuit panel and stuff like that. Get everything in place, because any wire that I run, I'm going to do it from the other side. I'm going to leave this open in the back so that I have the ability to run wires in and out as I may need to. I've got to do AC distribution for my shore power side, and then I've got to do my DC distribution for all the DC circuits, the 12 volt DC circuits. For the record, all these lights that you see that are up here that I've got on this temporary circuit, those are all going to be tied into my dome lights. Those are my dome lights, and they'll be running down the center of the bus. Flip a switch up front and they'll all light up. But that is kind of in a nutshell what I've been doing. I do want to point out one thing, point of order, because I am a dumb, well, you know the word. But this material right here is very fibrous. And as you can see, there is a lot of residual debris embedded into this thing. I vacuumed, I brushed, I did everything I could to get it out. Don't put this stuff down until you're done and ready to close it off, because it tracks everything, and I can't get that stuff out. So fortunately for me, it'll all be covered by the batteries and nobody will ever see it in here. But over here, you can see there's a lot of stuff down there, and I am not going to make that go away. I continue to work on it. I'll pick it out with my fingers and stuff like that and try to get it clean, but I like the way it looks. I wish I would have thought about it better, but major mistake on my part, because it just holds all the debris. But anyway, so there's the distribution system, just so you're aware. Let's walk through it real quick. So all of these cables right here provide power from the batteries. They feed into the positive bus bar here. This positive bus bar has a 300 amp fuse on it. From there it goes up to the disconnect switch. Disconnect switch on the other side comes up, goes around, comes in and connects to the bottom of the Lynx distributor. From the Lynx distributor, I've got my far side inverter here. I've got my near side inverter here. I've got my DC to DC charger here. I've got my MPPT here. All the grounds, all of the positive cables, everything is in place. They're all tied up. They're all secured. Everything is wound up. all my chassis grounds come back here, and then this cable right here, and I'll take you to the other side of the wall and show you how that's working. But this will tie to the chassis and provide my chassis ground. I've got my AC ground from my panel there. One of the other things is that I put in, I have a 30 amp breaker right here, and I've got a DC distribution block here. This is for minor low power loads that I have planned on the DC side for my 24 volt distribution. I've got, I want to put some cooling fans and things like that in here. And I've got some RGB lights for under the cabinets that'll tie into this as well that are 24 volt. And that'll be about all that goes in this. This is a 30 amp breaker. It is a little bit far from, because the power is coming out of here and coming up around in there, it is a little bit far from the power source. But this is 2 gauge wire on a 30 amp breaker. This breaker better trip before this wire melts without question. So that's why I got it set up that way. So let's go to the other side of the wall, and I want to show you what I've got going on for my chassis ground that's coming out right here. So if we come over here, you can see there is my chassis ground cable. It's coming out right there, and it loops around and goes down through the wall. One of the things that I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take my sink out, my cabinet out. I'm going to have to undo this panel right here. I'm going to have to undo that panel right there, get them out of the way. And then I'm going to have to drill a hole through the floor and through the bus floor to get access to the exterior so that I can tie the other end of this cable to the chassis and provide my chassis ground to the electrical distribution system. I will have to do the same thing on the other side for the 12 volt system. In this case, it is behind the wheel well. In this case over here, it will be in front of the wheel well. Because, well, I've got a shower back here and I can't get through the floor back here. So that's what we got going on there. So one of the things that I'm going to be doing next is I am going to start working on figuring out how I'm going to lay out my electrical stuff in here, get this all in place. I've got some cold weather coming up, so one of the things that I may do is I may shift gears and I may actually get my diesel heater installed and use my temporary battery to run that thing and make sure and see what this thing stays like. I'll have to disconnect my or reset my heater, just so you know this is where it's at right now. So the all-time low is 12, record high is 93, and right now is 83 in here. But I'll reset it before I put that heater into play and see what the minimum low temperature is. You can see I got a mess in here. I'm trying to get everything, I'm running out of space, guys. I'm trying to get everything situated and organized. That little toolbox right there that you see on the floor, that's actually 4 toolboxes, and I plan on using that to organize my tools and sort everything out to minimize the space that I need. But anyway, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this plywood, this foam, all of this stuff, I'm going to move it forward, open up the entrance to this bathroom. I'm going to get that sink and that cabinet out there, and I'm going to work on getting the chassis ground down to provide ground. Once I get that done, this entire distribution system will be done. The only exception to that will be my minimal 24 volt circuits that I need to run from that panel. The other thing that I need to do, and I have my fuses for it, but I need to run my input cable from my batteries into my DC to DC charger. 15 amp circuit, don't need a really big wire, but it is a fairly long distance, so I'm trying to figure that out and make sure I use the right size wire and get that in there. Every single bit of cabling that I'm using for the DC distribution is welding cable with 105-degree insulation, so it is rated much higher than normal. and it allows me to I try to keep everything at the right gauge regardless, but it allows me to run longer distances and keep everything in play without having to worry about going to like 3/0 wire to run a 15 amp circuit over 30 feet. So that's where we're at right now. I'm gonna kill it for this evening. It is after 8 o'clock. It's actually after 8:30, but that's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. We'll kick it back tomorrow and knock out some more stuff, and I'll walk you through everything, and I hope you enjoy it. I appreciate you being here. Like and subscribe, and let's get more stuff done. Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is Sunday, April the 6th. I remembered something yesterday after I shut this down that I wanted to go over, so I'm going to take a few minutes to walk through that before I pull all this plywood forward and start working on that chassis ground. But I just wanted to give you a quick insight on exactly what I had to do to get those lights into that equipment cabinet. So let's take a walk. All right, so if you see right here, I've got the straight edge for my T-square that I wound up having the idea that it was narrow enough that I might be able to get that wire through there. So what I did was I came in here, I put my OCD in a glass jar, put it on the top shelf out of the way so it didn't bug me, and just kind of eyeballed a couple of holes up in the ceiling where the lights is. I got one right here and one right here. They look pretty much in line, so I made them big enough so that I could actually pull the wire down through the holes on each side. This side would be doubled and looped back and around and come out. This is the actual wire right here. When I first started doing it, I used my reflective sealing tape, and that lasted all of about 36 microseconds. That tape wasn't strong enough to hold that wire. I had the wire kind of inside this groove right here to lower the profile it was going through. So then I got the idea to strip back the insulation and cut a lead off, and then wrap the lead around the end of this and then feed it back, and then have the wire running inside this as well. So if you look up here, I've got my 1/2 inch plywood that's running across my 3/4 strapping, and that goes across the entire roof in there to give me a conforming shape for the roof of that plywood. And so the idea was that I'll just take this, push it through there over where the holes are, and then when I get to the other side over here where that other light is over there, then I would be able to undo that loop and pull the wire through, come back here, move it around, and get it so that I could pull a loop through here. Well, it was working, except for somewhere about halfway through, and I think like right in this area right here, it was where this strapping is, it was flexing and hitting the strapping, and it wouldn't go any further. So what I did was I started here, and I pulled this screw out, I pulled this clamp, I pulled this screw, and I pulled this clamp, and that caused the plywood to come down a little bit, at which point it slid right in. Managed to be able to get a hold of the wire over here, pull it down through. Took a little bit of playing to get the wire to line up with the hole over here on this side, but once I got it there, I was able to pull it through and make a loop. And then it was just wiring it all back up, and then after I got it all wired up, came down here. I've got my lever nuts. Guys, I swear by these lever nuts, the greatest thing since sliced bread. I've been fighting crimp connectors in this bus forever, and I don't have any luck with them. I just ordered another crap ton of these things, and I'm going to go back and use these everywhere that I can because they are so much faster. It took me maybe 5 minutes to do this whole circuit with the overhead lights and all of that other stuff. So I was really happy with that. So I wanted to give you a heads up on exactly what I had to do to get that in, because I forgot to do it yesterday. Once it was all in and secured and everything, I came back in and put everything back in place and tightened it all back up. So that was exactly what I did in a nutshell. I'm getting a late start. We had some rain this morning, and so I took advantage of that and went to the tool store, got some things I needed to increase my efficiency on this project, and just got back and wanted to run through this. Now I'm getting ready to try to hit it and get that chassis ground in place. We got some more weather coming in about an hour or two, and I want to try to have that in place before that hits. So I'll be back in a minute. Well, I'm back, everyone, and I got her done. Holy cow, that was hard. Anyway, I got the ground in and got a little extra side project in that I wasn't planning on, but I figured while I had it all open, I would take care of it. So I'm going to show you what I got done. Let's go take a walk and look at what we got going on. All right, so there it is. It's coming out of the wall right here, going through this plate. You saw that previously because I still had this plywood on right here. Dropped it down through the wall and then came down over here, drilled through this particular stud, and then came in over into this stud. And here's where the challenge was, is trying to get this 4-aught cable to bend around that that joint there. I don't know if you can see it, I got stuff in the way, but I had to come out here and drill some holes out here that allowed me to actually work the cable, get it through, and get it through the wall. It's nice and solid and tight. Brought it down, drilled me a hole through the plate, hole through the floor, hole through the metal, got it all the way down. I did have to do a little bit of unique engineering to get that hole to go all the way through because it wasn't deep enough. So I used one of my impact extensions with a 3/8 socket on it because the hole saw, the arbor on it is 3/8. If you notice, I put some tape on here to tighten up that connection going into that socket. So that if I had to pull it out, it wouldn't get stuck down in the hole and it would actually come out with it. So I had to do that. They gave me more than enough clearance and I was able to get the hole all the way through. And that Liquid-Tight actually came into use. I used that, ran it up from the bottom to protect that cable going through the sheet metal downstairs. I did get the sheet metal all painted and stuff so that it doesn't rust, but I used that to protect the cable, brought it up, and then have it clamped. It ain't going nowhere. Nice and solid. So let's talk about that other side project that I got done. So one of the things that I realized why I had this wall off is that I needed to run my drain pipe from the kitchen area over into the bathroom. So I mocked everything up, got it all set up, figured out how I was going to do it. Drilled my hole right there, going through to the other side. Got my hole going down here, but I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it looks like I may have a bit of a problem there. Might have to get me some flex pipe. I don't know how much room I got. Maybe I can get an elbow and just sweep it away from there before it hits that, but that was poor planning on my part. I should have went down and looked at that, but I was gauging it off of where I did the wire, and there wasn't nothing in the way, but, well, I was wrong. One of those setbacks again. Coming around here on the other side, you can see that I mocked the cabinet up against the wall, and I drilled my hole through here, and then I used this to actually mark the hole in the plywood to drill into the wall over there. Then I got my hole down here going through the bottom of the cabinet for the drain for the sink in here to go through and drop down through the floor. And then once I had that, I was able to actually use my really long 1/8" drill bit, center the drill up in that hole, and mark the floor down here to identify where I needed to drill this one at. So that was the extra project that I got done. So let's go take a walk, look and see. I got a piece of pipe I'm going to stick down in this hole before we get there, just so we can see what it looks like from underneath. But we'll reconvene under the bus and I'll show you that ground connection under there and where this is coming out underneath the bus for the drain. Well, there she is, y'all. Ain't that pretty? I polished up the metal and took all the paint off. Got me a nice clean bond. If you look real carefully, you can see the discoloration around the lug. I used a piece of cardboard to mask it off when I painted so I didn't get paint on it. Then I threw me some a heavy coating of dielectric grease on the top of it. Got my heat shrink on, broke my my one rule on heat shrink. I actually used my lighter to do that one because I didn't feel like running the cord out here. But there is the bottom of the Liquid-Tight. I just left one of those pieces that I had put together when I was trying to use it, pulled it up through the floor and ran my cable down, got it in. Cable comes through there nice and protected, don't have to worry about it. And it's all connected on this side. Let me go to the other side, show you what I did over here. So I got the same thing over here. And one of the things that I do want to show you is I did the same thing. I cleaned everything up and all of that kind of stuff. But I have a washer, lock washer, and a nut, and I torqued that down really tight. And then I double nutted it just to make sure it doesn't come loose. On the other side, there's a washer, lock washer, and then the head of the bolt as well. Got it all painted and cleaned up, and once again, put that dielectric grease around everything. Looks like it's out of focus. I apologize for that, but there it is. And now let's move on to that little plumbing thing. Today is my lucky day, guys. I'm going to buy a lottery ticket. Look at that, y'all. It came through. The hole's big enough that it actually worked. So not a problem. And this is gray conduit, but it's the same size as plumbing pipe. So got a little flange on the top side that worked out really well. It keeps it from coming through the floor. But there it is, it worked. So I don't have to worry about that. There's my drain coming out, and then it'll come over to the other side over here. Somewhere up in here will be where my toilet is. And then from there it'll drain, and I'll put my gray water tank back there somewhere. So that's my next project that I got done. So we're going to shut it down right now, and I'm going to go back and button that bathroom back up. Probably bring you back and show you what it looks like once it's all cleaned up and buttoned up. Maybe try to run that pipe through and show you what that's going to look like. So I'll be back in a bit. Well, guys, I'm back. I got it all back together. Got the sink back in, just sitting there. It's not fastened. Realized that there was something else that I forgot to do, so I took care of that while I was taking care of all of this and getting it back together. One of the other things I did, just to give you an idea, I went ahead and pushed through some of my plumbing. It's not final, it's just holding in place right now, just sitting there. But that's kind of what it's going to look like. It runs all the way to the other side of the wheel well, right back there. It goes all the way over to the other side, and then that pipe will run through the floor. It's just sitting on top of the floor right now. It's not even nowhere near long enough. I just wanted to dry fit it and see how it was going to work. With this piece, I can cut and adjust to get the right height for my drain that will be coming out of here. Yeah, the drain will come down here and drop down. Put a P-trap and come into it, and I can set the height on that. The thing that I forgot to do was actually add the holes for my water lines to come in here. So I got those in place as well. So all back together, all done. I got my ground in, and I got my my plumbing in place. So that makes me happy. I'm gonna start moving on. I think it started raining. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do a whole lot more. So I think I'm going to call this one a wrap. I hope that you enjoyed it. One more thing. Look how pretty, y'all. Isn't that pretty? I love it. I like those lights too. Anyway, just real quick, I want to show you. There is the other end of that pipe coming out through right there. So it's all in place. I did do a little bit of cleanup, so I'm going to probably spend the rest of the afternoon getting this cleaned up a little bit better, and start pulling this video together, so maybe I can get it out tonight or tomorrow morning. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Have a great day. Please like, please subscribe. Have any questions, let me know. Be more than happy to answer them. Love to hear from you. Let me know what I'm doing right. Let me know what I'm doing wrong and what I can do to make it better so you'll want to watch. Have a great day, everyone, and thank you.